This is unbelievable. There was a man in the Dominican Republic in the woods praying, and all of a sudden, a whole group of angels appeared. And these people that were walking by in the village, they saw him and they seen the angels and they're recording this. Look at this, amazing. Look how many of them there are there. It's crazy. Look. Now they're saying that they're angels. They could be angels, they could be light beings, but look how many of them. There's so many of them. Unbelievable. God is great, man. God is great. And this is in broad daylight. Wow. Look at them stand up. Look how tall they are. Look how tall they are. They're like at least 8, 9 feet tall. Some of them. Some of them are short. Some of them are tall. Look, you can see these over here are tall ones. And then these are shorter ones here. Oh my God. My Father.
Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, by Hashem YAHWEH, by Hashem HaKakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do rule well and teach this truth with honesty and sincerity. Salutations to you brothers around the four corners of the earth that push this truth with honesty and sincerity with great diligence to wake up the hopeful elect of Israel. Double shalom to you. I can not come looking like the heathen, but you are in fact of the stock of Israel, and you hold near and dear this truth. And follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities, wherever you may be scattered. And shalom to the few sincere Agwatim that listen and learn in silence, playing a creation role as the Lord commanded you to, which is in all subjection unto your husbands. Have a video and say they caught angels on camera encamping around a man that was praying out in the Dominican Republic. You know, and we know that the Dominicans, so-called Dominicans, are Israelites, man. And hey, the scriptures tell us that the angels encamp around those that fear the Lord. Roughly paraphrasing, man. You see, and as these years have been going on, you see more and more of their presence, whether it be through the chariots, whether it be through miracles and people being saved from danger. You see, because you have angels that are help on our behalf, on the Israelites' behalf, and you have those angels that are on the left hand side that are they bring destruction, man. And both sides work for the Heavenly Father, Yahawah, which the world ignorantly calls God, and his son, who they ignorantly call Jesus, which his name is Yahawah, and Yahawah being the son. But yeah, you see more and more of these the presence of the angels. Years ago at a Super Bowl, I believe there was a gentleman filmed, in the crowd, and they zoomed in on him, and he looked ancient. He didn't look like people of today, man. He had white afro, white beard, piercing eyes, the glow and the radiation from him, well, not radiation, but that glow radiating from him, he just looked like he didn't fit in these times, like he wasn't from her. You see, and these beings, they just glowing. But I'm gonna grab some scriptures, and Lord willing, you be edified.
This is insane.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 34, and I start at verse 3. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. They looked unto him and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him, and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of the Lord encamped round about them that fear him, and delivereth them. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. Oh, fear the Lord, ye his saints. Talking about you Israelites, man. For there is no want to them that fear him. We go to book of Psalms, chapter 91. And it reads from the top, He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. And we in them times, man, of war. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling, for he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. See, so the angels, you have angels on the right hand side that protect us, man, from all type of things that we can't see, and the things that we do see, stumping your toe, bumping your head. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, and the young lion, and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet, because he hath set his love upon me. Therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. You see? And that goes back to how the name does matter. You can't call on someone with the wrong name. They're not going to respond. But the scriptures say that the Lord winked at our ignorance because we didn't know his name. But now his name is being proclaimed in the streets, in the highways, and the byways, and people still choose not to respect that name and call on that name and acknowledge that name, YAHAWAH, which is who the world ignorantly calls God, and YAHAWAH is his son, man. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. You see? And this brother could be one that gets saved, man. You know, more than likely. See how the name does matter. Um This is the book of Proverbs 18 and 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. You see? So you calling on the wrong name, you're not safe, man. You're not safe, man. Like I said, because even some of my family who've been in the church all their life and well, it been working for me all this time. The Lord, hey, let me find that. This is the book of Acts, chapter 17, and I started verse 29, and it reads, "For as much then as we are the offspring of Yahawah, we ought not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold or silver or stone graven by art in man's hand, in man's device, Salakia. At the time of this ignorance, Yahweh winked at, but now commanded all men everywhere to repent, because he hath appointed a day in the which he will judge the world in righteousness by that man whom he hath ordained," talking about Yahweh Shai, "whereof he hath given assurance unto all men, in that he hath raised him from the dead. And when they heard of the resurrection of the dead, some mocked, and others said, We will hear thee again of this matter. So Paul departed from among them. Howbeit certain men clave unto him and believed, among the which was Dionysius and Areopagite, and a woman named Damaris, and others with them. You see, the Lord had winked at our ignorance, man, at the time, because he knew what we had been through, being stripped of our heritage, our language, being around these heathens, being scattered, man, being part of the diaspora. But now that the truth is in the world, the truth has began to be taught. There is no cloak, man. You can't say you wasn't told, you didn't know. The Lord said the end shall not come until the word has been preached in the four corners of the earth. That means everybody will have a chance to accept or deny the truth. And the truth about his name is being published, man, throughout the earth. But let me go to the book of Romans, chapter 8. And I started at 26. Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought. But the Spirit itself make intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And he that searcheth the heart knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of Yahawah. You know, and the Spirit make intercession for us, man. Intervening for our uh, uh gripes and complains, our trials and tribulations, and when we don't even know what to ask for, man, the Spirit makes those intercessions for us, man. You see, and throughout history, our recorded history, there have been the presence of angels, man. Even in, I believe, World War One, soldiers was saying that they saw things in the sky. You know, they was saying they'd seen objects in the sky, man. Even back in the ancient times, man, the Lord sent help, man, on Israel's behalf. And guess what? We coming into that time where the Lord's army is going to come down on Israel's behalf, man. The elect of Israel's behalf, I should say. um, Go to the book of Hebrews, chapter 13. Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 5. Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have, for he hath said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. So that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me. You see? And with the spirit and power of YAHAWAH Ba'ashem Yahushua, man, and him setting angels around those that fear him, man, what is there to fear, man? You fear Esau and his army and what they can do? Well, you don't understand the power of the angels, man, and what they can do on our behalf, man. Let me go to book of Luke 22. Um, I'll start at verse 40. And when he was at the place, he said unto them, pray that ye enter not into temptation. And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast, and kneeled down and prayed, saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. So the Lord was praying to the Heavenly Father to deliver him out of this, out of his out of the portion, man, of the cup, man, that he had to drink from, which was to die, man. He didn't want to do it, but he said, Lord, your will be done. And remember, he told Satan, man, that he could have a legion um of angels to bring him down. Satan told him, and he told him not to tempt the Lord. He rebuked him, man. But the Lord didn't want to do it, man. Verse 43, and there appeared an angel unto him from heaven, strengthening him. And being in In an agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. And when he rose up from prayer and was come to his disciples, he found them sleeping for sorrow, and said unto them, why sleep ye? Rise and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. You see, like the angels are here to for our behalf, on our behalf, man, to minister, to strengthen us, to protect us, those that fear the Lord, man. You see, they didn't come to rescue him; they came to strengthen him to keep going on his purpose. But throughout history, angels have been on our behalf, executing judgments on our behalf, man, and on Israel as well. So this is the book of Exodus chapter 14 when the Israelites are pardoned out of Egypt. And the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, man, just so he can show his strength against our enemies, man, who were holding us captive. Um, I'll start at verse 10. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them, and they were so afraid. And the children of Israel cried out unto the Lord. And they said unto Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us, to carry us forth out of Egypt? Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness. And that's a lot of our people today in America, the modern day Egypt. They rather keep going along with their enemy's program than to turn to the Lord and face some ridicule, and face some slander, face some type of rejection from this world. But fuck this world, man. To hell with our enemies, man. The Lord about to destroy them anyway. So what sense do it make to want to serve a people that's about to be destroyed? That's your enemy anyway. When your power, which is YAHAWAH by Hashem Yahushua, is beckoning you back unto him, gave you away through Yahushua, being that sacrificial lamb, to be accepted back to Yahweh the Father. But anywho, and Moses said unto the people, verse 13, Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show to you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. And the Lord said unto Moses, wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel that they go forward. But lift thou up thy rod, and stretch out thine hand over the sea, and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. Behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, that they shall follow them, and I will get me honor upon Pharaoh, and upon all his hosts, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the angel of Yahweh which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them. And the pillar of cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. So the angel in the chariot was guiding the Israelites, man. That's why they was singing "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot," because they knew that those were the chariots. If those were the angels, man, they knew that they could had the power to transport them, take them back to Jerusalem. So that um, cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night was the chariots, man, leading them. Even in the scriptures, it tells you that wherever the children of Israel camped is when the chariot would stop and they would camp, set up camp there. And when it was time to move, the chariot would move, and that's how they were led, man, through the wilderness, man. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and it was a cloud and dark. It was and it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all the night. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. And it came to pass that in the morning watch the Lord looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians, and took off their chariot wheels, and they drave them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, "Let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians." You see, Israel was the Lord used the angels, man, in those chariots to guide and protect the Israelites, man, from their enemies. And the difference between then and now, because we're both times in captivity. The difference between then and now is our people don't know who they are. They don't know that they are the Israelites. They don't know that the Lord was working wonders for them. They don't know that they're those people. Even though they've been told by their own Israelites, brethren, the heathens, and then their oppressors have said it. But Israel is love to be a slave, man. Um, we go to the book of Numbers. This is Numbers chapter 22. So I'll start from the top and jump to the point. And it reads, "And the children of Israel set forward and pitched in the plains of Moab on this side of the Jordan by Jericho." And Moab is the so-called Chinese. This is who the Chinese come from, a man named Moab, which makes them Moabites. So whenever it's talking about Moab, it's talking about the Chinese, so-called. And Balak, the son of Zippor, saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. And Moab was so afraid of the people because there were many, and Moab was distressed because of the children of Israel. And Moab said unto the elders of Midian, Now shall this company lick up all that are round about us, as the ox licketh up the grass of the field. And Balak the son of Zippor was king of the Moabites at that time. He sent messengers, therefore, unto Balaam the son of Beor the Pethor, to Pethor, which is by the river of the land of the children of his people, to call him, saying, Behold, there is a people come out from Egypt. Behold, they cover the face of the earth, and they abide over against me. Come now, therefore, I pray thee, curse me this people, for they are too mighty for me. Peradventure I shall prevail, that we may smite them, and that I may drive them out of the land. For I wot that he whom thou blessed is blessed, and he whom thou cursed is cursed. And the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the rewards of divination in their hand, and they came unto Balaam and spake unto him the words of Balak. And he said unto them, Lodge here this night, and I will bring you word again, as the Lord shall speak unto me. And the princes of Moab abode with Balaam. And Yahawah came unto Balaam and said, What men are these with thee? And Balaam said unto Yahawah, Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, hath sent unto me, saying, Behold, there is a people come out of Egypt, which covered the face of the earth. Come now, curse me them. Peradventure I shall be able to overcome them and drive them out. And Yahweh said unto Balaam, Thou shalt not go with them, thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed. And Balaam rose up in the morning and said unto the princes of Balak, Get you into your land, for the Lord refused to give me leave to go with you. And the princes of Moab rose up, and they went unto Balak and said, Balaam refused to come with us. And he sent them back, but I'm gonna jump to the point. Jump down to verse 20. And Yahweh came unto Balaam at night and said unto him, If the men come to thee to call thee, rise up and go with them. But yet the word which I shall say unto thee, shalt thou do. And Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass and went with the princes of Moab. And Yahweh's anger was kindled because he went. And the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and two servants were with him. And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And the ass turned aside out of the way and went into the field. And Balaam smote the ass to turn her into the way. But the angel of the Lord stood in the path of the vineyards, and a wall being on this side and a wall on that side. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she thrusted herself unto the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he smote her again. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place where was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with the staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass and said unto Balaam, What have I done unto thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? But basically, the angel was standing in the way, so he couldn't carry out the task that the Balak wanted him to do, man, which was curse the people, the children of Israel, man. And let me see, and This is Second Maccabees chapter 15. Um, and this is about a battle which our brethren, forefathers, um, were involved in, and the Lord and an angel was sent to help on their behalf. This is I'm gonna start from the top. But Nicanor, hearing that Judas and his company were in the strong places about Samaria, resolved without any danger to set upon them on the Sabbath day. And if you do the research, Judas Maccabees and his brothers, man, they was feared in the land, man. They put in heavy work, man, in battles, man. The Lord put the spirit on them, man, to be those valiant men of war, man. Nevertheless, the Jews that were compelled to go with him said, "Oh, destroy not so cruelly and barbarously, but give honor to that day which he that seeth all things hath honored with holiness above all other days." Then the most ungracious wretch demanded if there were a mighty one in heaven that had commanded the Sabbath day to be kept. And when they said, there is in heaven a living Lord and mighty who commanded the 7th day to be kept. Then said the other, and I also am mighty upon the earth, and I command to take arms and to do the king's business, yet he obtained not to have his wicked will done. So Nicanor, in exceeding pride and haughtiness, determined to set up a public monument of his victory over Judas and them that were with him. But Maccabeus had ever sure confident that the Lord would help him. Wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them. And to be a heathen is just not an Israelite. Nations that are not Israelites. Um, but to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven, and now to expect the victory and aid which should come unto them from the Almighty. See how people knew, man, that the Lord would stand in on their behalf, man, when they're doing keeping the commandments, man. See, they going back and forth about keeping the holy day, keeping the Sabbath, you know. And so comforting them out of the law and the prophets, and withal putting them in mind of the battles that they won afore, he made them more cheerful. And when he had stirred up their mind, he gave them their charge, showing them therewithal that the falsehood of the heathen and the breach of oaths. Thus he armed every one of them not so much with defense of shields and spears as with comfortable and good words. And besides that, he told them a dream worthy to be believed, as if it had been so indeed, which did not a little rejoice them. And this was his vision, that Onias, who had been high priest, a virtuous and good man, reverent in conversation, gentle in condition, well spoken also, and exercised from a child in all points of virtue, holding up his hands, prayed for the whole body of the Jews, which the Jew is short for Judah, or YAHAWAH, means Yahweh thanks. That's one tribe, which is the so-called Negroes of today. And you have 11 other tribes that make up the nation of Israel. But when they refer to the Jews, it's often talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which is a so-called Negro, so-called Jamaican, and so-called Haitian of today. Verse 13, this done in like manner, there appeared a man with gray hairs and exceeding glorious, who was of wonderful and excellent majesty. Then Onias answered, saying, This is a lover of the brethren, who prayeth much for the people and for the holy city, to wit, Jeremiah the prophet of Yahawah. Whereupon Jeremiah, holding forth his right hand, gave to Judas a sword of gold, and in giving it spake thus, Take this holy sword, a gift from Yahawah, with the with with the which thou shalt wound the adversary. Thus being well comforted by the words of Judas, which were very good and able to stir them up to valor, and to encourage the hearts of the young men, they determined not to pitch camp, but courageously to set upon them, and manfully to try the matter by conflict, because the city and the sanctuary and the temple were in danger. For the care that they took for their wives and their children, their brethren and folk, was in the least account with them, but the greatest and principal fear was for the holy temple. Also, they that were in the city took not the least care, being troubled for the conflict abroad. And now, when all was looked, what should be the trial, and the enemies were already come near, and the army was set in array, and the beasts conveniently placed, and the horsemen set in wings, Maccabees, seeing the coming of the multitude and the diverse preparations of armor and the fierceness of the beast, stretched out his hands toward heaven and called upon the Lord that worketh wonders, knowing that victory cometh not by arms, but even as it seemeth good to him, he giveth it to such as are worthy. Therefore, in his prayer, he said after this manner, O Lord, thou didst send thine angel in the time of Ezekiel, king of Judea, Ezekiel, the king of Judea, and didst slay in the host of the Sennacherib 185,000. Wherefore now also, O Lord of heaven, send a good angel before us for a fear and dread upon them. And through the might of thine arm let those be stricken with terror that come against thy holy people to blaspheme. And he ended thus. Then Nicanor and they that were with him, Salakia, came forward with trumpets and songs. But Judas and his company encountered the enemies with invocation and prayer, so that fighting with their hands and praying unto Yahawah with their hearts, they slew no less than 35,000 men. For through the appearance of Yahawah they were greatly cheered. Now when the battle was done, returning again with joy, they knew that Nicanor lay dead in his harness. Then they made a great shout and a noise, praising the Almighty in their own language, which is the Paleo Hebrew, man. And Judas, who was ever the chief defender of the citizens both in body and mind, and who continued his love toward his countrymen all his life, commanded to strike off Nicanor's head and his hand with his shoulder, and bring them to Jerusalem. So when he was there and called them of his nation together, and set the priests before the altar, he sent for them that were of the tower, and showed them the vile Nicanor's head and the hand of the blasphemer, which with proud brags he had stretched out against the holy temple of the Almighty. And when he had cut out the tongue of that ungodly Nicanor, he commanded that they should give it by pieces unto the fowls, and hang up the reward of his madness before the temple. So every man praised toward the heaven the glorious Lord, saying, Blessed be he that hath kept his own place undefiled. He hanged also Nicanor's head upon the tower, an evident and manifest sign unto all of the help of the Lord. And they ordained all with the common decree, in no case to let that day pass without solemnity, but to celebrate the 30th day of the 12th month, which in the Syrian tongue is called Adar, the day before Mardoshia's day. Thus went thus went it with Nicanor, and from that time forth the Hebrews had the city in their power, and there will I make an end. And if I have done well, and as is fitting the story, it is that which is desired, but if slenderly and meanly, it is that which I could attain to. For as it is hurtful to drink wine or water alone, and as wine mingled with water is pleasant and delighted the taste, even so speech finely framed delighted the ears of them that read the story, and here shall be an end. But the Lord had sent angels on the behalf of Israel many times, man, and the Lord is going to do that again in these times. Hope this has been an edifying lesson. I'm going to say Kwam Yasharala, Shalom, and the Bible Ball.